سلام به همگی، خیلی خوش اومدین به این ویدیو، به این منظره خیلی زیبا و اینجا یه قسمتی از دانشگاه ما. حالا بعد آخر ویدیو بهتون نشون میدم، ولی قبلش میخوام شما رو به دیدن این ویدیو خیلی 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 زیبا دعوت بکنم و موقعی که من خودم دیدم این ویدیو رو دهنم وامون. بچه‌ها این ویدیو در مورد یک پسر امریکایی هستش که بعد از حدود 20 و چند، یعنی بعد از حدود 25-6 سال میفهمه که اصالتاً ایرانی هستش و آمریکایی نیست و اینکه پدرش مثل اینکه پدرش بهش نگفته بود که ایرانیه و دیگه خودتون این ویدیو زیبا رو ببینید و برگردید.
Question for you. What would you do if you found out about a brand new holiday that everyone else already seemed to know about? What if as an adult your parents sat you down and told you about Christmas for the very first time? You'd be pretty upset, wouldn't you? Well, that's what happened to me, and it led to me eventually becoming homeless. Thought I would tell you about that today. Now, I first want to say to all the people who are from out of town, I was born and raised right here in Reno, Nevada. So I knew everything that you guys know. I was very happy. I was very comfortable. I went to the University of Nevada, Reno. I graduated, and then I wanted to pursue comedy, so I went to Los Angeles. And that's where I found millions of other Persians. And they accepted me, but I didn't know anything about it. I had to learn about my culture in my mid-20s. There were now stereotypes I had to fit into. I'd never had stereotypes. I'd always been regular white. But now I had some cool stuff. Like Persians are known for expensive clothing, Mercedes-Benz. I was happy to be in Los Angeles. I was doing a lot of stand-up comedy shows. Persians kept inviting me to do their private events. And one of my buddies said, hey, what are you planning on doing this year for New Year? I said, well, it's March. I think we have 9 months to plan. I don't know if this is a priority right now. He said, no, you idiot. I'm talking about Persian New Year. And I said, what? He said, you don't know about this holiday? And I didn't. Turns out Persian New Year is like the greatest hits of all holidays. It's Thanksgiving, Christmas, Easter, all rolled into one. It's a birthday party for Mother Nature. It is awesome. And my dad never told me about it. I was pretty upset. I felt like he owed me about 25 years of back holiday child support. Kids get gifts, they get candy, they get new clothes. I experienced none of it. But instead of getting mad, I decided to go learn about Persian New Year. And as a comedian, it was kind of easy. I set up 17 different shows across the nation, including Canada, Florida, New York. I said, I'm coming, I'm going to do comedy there, I'm going to bring some cameras, I'm hiring a whole crew, we're making a documentary. I want to invite other people to learn about Persian New Year with me. Pretty good idea. The problem was I could not afford any of that. So I had to make the ultimate sacrifice, which I was recently told is dying in battle. I did not do that. So I made the second most ultimate sacrifice. I became homeless. I figured that would help my production budget, so I packed everything into a little storage shed. I stayed with friends and family when I needed to, but my life was going to be on the road for the next 6 to 9 months. That is how I got a bigger budget to hire a cameraman, the crew, the editing, the software, and I was going to make the movie. And what I learned about this in my travels was each stop I learned something new about what being Persian is. And it was pretty interesting. Persian Empire was responsible for innovations that we all still know and use today. So it's not that weird, this weird far-off Middle Eastern culture. As a matter of fact, they're responsible for the windmill, brain surgery, pajamas. We know about that stuff. Better yet, the birthday cake, ice cream, fruit punch, and the tambourine. So hey, you can't party without Persians. They started this stuff. Or more recently, Hot Pockets and eBay. I don't recommend buying Hot Pockets on eBay, so don't get that confused right there. It was actually fascinating, and that's just the stuff about the culture. But what I learned about the holiday was even more interesting. The holiday is celebrated by over 300 million people worldwide. How I never heard about it, I don't know. I wasn't paying attention. Barack Obama, George Bush, they've all addressed it each year in a presidential speech. And, more importantly, the little facets of the holiday are stuff that are not that uncommon to us today. For instance, one of the characters of Persian New Year, or Nowruz as it's called, is a guy that has a gray beard. He brings candy and gifts to the children that behave. His name is Amu Nowruz, or Uncle New Year. Does that sound like anyone we kind of already know? Well, that's Amu Nowruz, and, well, that's the guy we're familiar with, Old Saint Nick. So if this was Us Weekly magazine, we'd say, who wore it best? I don't know who wore it best, but I do know who wore it first. Amu Nowruz predates Santa Claus by 3,000 years. The next thing you'll find when you go to a Persian New Year event is grass on a table when you walk in, and then painted egg next to the grass. The grass represents rebirth. The painted egg represents fertility of the spring new year. Does that sound like anything we might have heard of? Yeah, Easter. It predates Easter by about 3,000 years. So I was very excited to learn this stuff. It was pretty cool that my dad never told me about Persian New Year, because I got the chance to experience it on my own as an adult and maybe appreciate it a little bit more. I was given advice from celebrities and scholars all across the nation. It was probably one of the best years of my life, and eventually I ended up making the movie that I wanted to make, Nowruz. The best part about it, I submitted it to a few film festivals. It ended up winning a huge prize, so I was pretty excited about that.
امیدوارم که از ویدیو لذت برده باشید. این پیج اینستاگرام ماست. خوشحال میشم اگه دوست داشتید اونجا هم ما رو دنبال بکنید و اینکه مرسی از همه حمایت هاتون و امیدوارم که از این منظره زیبا هم لذت کامل رو برده باشید. اینجا تو این فصل دیگه تمام درخت ها این شکلی زیبا میشن و دلبری میکنن و تمام این گلاش میندازه رو زمین دیگه. خلاصه آدم واقعا حالش خوب میشه. بعد من صبح از خواب بلند شدم، گفتم که صبح پاشم صبح زود بیام هم ویدیو رو توی منظره زیبا براتون بگیرم، هم یه تیکه از دانشگاه رو بهتون نشون بدم. بعد اینجوری که من دارم میگیرم دستگاه خوابگاه، این طرفش هم خوابگاست و بعد دیگه جوزم براتون بگه دیگه همین دیگه زیاده گویی نمی کنم، سرتم زیاد درد نمیارم. امیدوارم که شب و روز خوبی در کنار خانواده‌تون داشته باشید و اینکه خوشحال میشم که استوریایی که داخل یوتیوب براتون میذارم اگه دوست داشتید ما رو دنبال بکنید و داخل اینستاگرامم براتون استوری میذارم و داخل اینستاگرامم هر روز براتون ولاگ میذارم، داخل اینستاگرام براتون ولاگ میذارم و اگه دوست داشتید میتونید اونجا ما رو دنبال بکنید دیگه. خیلی مواظب خودتون باشید. تا ویدیو بعدی میبینم بهتون. فعلا خدا نگهدار.